Hey all, this is Neil and welcome back to the Career Talk channel. Today we are going to talk about something that every modern Scrum Master simply must understand. Not just ceremonies, not just JIRA, not just sprint planning, but CI/CD, Jenkins, the tools that drive real delivery behind the scenes. If you are a Scrum Master in 2025, then this video is for you. Let's be honest, most Scrum Masters are great at running daily stand ups, keeping boards clean, coordinating with POs, facilitating retrospectives. But when a build fails, or when testing breaks, or when deployment is stuck, many Scrum Masters feel helpless. They just wait for the team to fix things. And that's exactly where the gap is. Because in today's world, DevOps is everywhere, automation is everywhere, and the releases happen very frequently. Problem comes from pipelines, not often from meetings. Scrum masters who understand the technical flow, even at a high level, stand out instantly. You don't need to code, you don't need to become a developer, but you do need to understand what's happening behind the curtains. And that starts with CI/CD. So let's deep dive in CI/CD today. The Scrum Master Stack Way. These days, Scrum Masters are expected to understand not just agile ceremonies, but also how team actually delivers software. Knowing CI/CD and Jenkins will help you support the team better and identify the risks early and engage meaningfully with developers, QA, and DevOps teams. This is now part of the modern Scrum Master toolkit. Let me introduce you to CI/CD and Jenkins. Before we talk about Jenkins, it's important to understand what CI/CD means. CI stands for continuous integration and CD stands for continuous delivery. It automates everything from code commit to deployment. Jenkins is the tool that powers this entire automation. And today we will walk through it in simple and practical terms. CI/CD automates the journey from a developer writing code to that code being tested, packaged, and deployed. This removes manual steps, reduces errors, and makes the release process faster and more reliable. Jenkins plays a major role here by building, testing, and deploying code automatically. Now, let's understand what is CI/CD. Let me break down CI/CD in two parts. Continuous integration means developers frequently merge their code. Every merge triggers automatic build and testing. This catches defects early. Continuous delivery means once the code passes all checks, it's always in a ready to deploy state. This supports the Scrum pillars of transparency, inspection, and adoption. Teams get faster feedback, which leads to better sprint outcomes. Now, why a Scrum Master should care about it? As a Scrum Master, we must care about build and test results. A failed build is not just a technical issue, it is a sprint risk. A failing test affects a story's definition of done. A slow pipeline reduces the developer productivity. Understanding Jenkins will help you identify impediments early and support the teams effectively. Now, quickly go through the Jenkins overview. What it is exactly, why we need Jenkins, why is it so popular. So let's understand that. Jenkins is an automation server. Basically, it executes automated tools like building code, running tests, scanning for issues, and even deploying our applications. Think of it as an engine that keeps your delivery pipeline running smoothly. Speaking of pipelines, Jenkins works with what we all call pipeline. Those are the jobs which are divided into different stages. Typically, these stages go like this: build, then test, then package, and finally deploy it. Each stage ensures that your code is moving through the right process before it reaches to the production. Jenkins is also like incredibly flexible because it integrates with variety of tools. For example, you can connect it with GitHub or Bitbucket for version control, SonarQube for quality checks, and Slack or Jira for team notifications, and even Docker or Kubernetes for containerized deployments. You can also hook it up with artifact repositories like Nexus or Artifactory to manage your build artifacts. Let's go through the Jenkins pipeline and the key concepts. A Jenkins pipeline is a sequence of automated stages: build, test, package, and deploy. The pipeline is defined using a Jenkins file, which sits inside the code repository. It contains instructions for every step Jenkins need to perform. Jenkins run these steps on agents or node, which are the basically like a worker machines, and it plugins the extended Jenkins further by adding integrations with dozens of variety of tools. So now for a scrum master it becomes important to understand what are the metrics for, you know, how we can capture the performance of the team during Jenkins flow. So here it is. The most basic and important ones are build success rate, build duration, facility test count, and the failing ones, and the deployment failures, and the frequency of deployment, and the environment stability. Tracking these will help you identify the quality issues, the bottlenecks, and the trends that impact the entire sprint delivery. The metrics help you forecast sprint delivery in a different way. It builds the frequent, right? So the build is taken and built frequently. If it is fail, then we will know that the sprint is at risk. If it is failing, uh, uh, if build duration is too long, developers lose productivity. If deployment frequency is low, and the lead time increases, Scrum Master should bring these insights into stand-ups and retrospectives. Now let's understand the how we can monitor the build status. You can monitor build status through the Jenkins dashboard, Blue Ocean View, or build monitor screens. Most teams integrate Jenkins with Slack or Jira, so they get immediate notification when the build is failing. This visibility will help you raise the risks early and keep the team focused. Now let's understand the Jenkins CLI and REST APIs. Jenkins also provides REST API and the command line interface. We all know that. These allow the DevOps team to automate Jenkins itself, fetch build information, trigger the job, or it can list the jobs. You may not use these directly as a Scrum Master, but knowing they exist will help you understand how deeper automation is working. Now let's understand the common Jenkins terms which are in use in day-to-day project lifecycle. First, we have this Jenkins dashboard. This is your main control center where you can see all jobs, pipeline, and their status. Think of it as the cockpit of your Jenkins environment. A job or project is basically a task Jenkins will run, like building, coding, and then running the tests or deploying the applications. When multiple steps are combined, we call them as a pipeline. Yeah. And it usually flows through different stages: build, test, package, and deploy. Each stage ensures your code passes certain checks before moving forward to the production environment. Now, let's understand that Jenkins is not doing this all alone. It runs the job on different machines called codes or agents, all coordinated by the main master server. And every job starts somewhere. That's the build triggers, which could be a code commit or a scheduler or even a manual initiation of the build. While the job is running, Jenkins stores all the temporary files in a workspace and Final outputs like binaries or deployable packages are called artifacts. Understanding these basic terms will help you see how Jenkins orchestrates automation from start to finish. Now let's understand the Jenkins in Scrum flow. Jenkins directly impacts ceremonies like stand-ups, sprint plannings, the sprint reviews and retrospective, all the basic Scrum ceremonies. Now, this is the full flow where a developer commits code first, then Jenkins automatically triggers the pipeline, it builds the test, and then application is deployed. It checks the code quality in between and it deploys to the environment where it is assigned to. And then sends a feedback to the Slack or JIRA. As a Scrum Master, you monitor this flow for failures or bottlenecks and ensure issues are raised immediately. Now, what all are the Scrum Master's action items during the projects of CI/CD pipelines? We need to check the pipeline health daily. We need to discuss repeated failures in stand-ups, bring environment issues to the team attention, ensure definition of done includes the CI/CD check also, collaborate with the DevOps to resolve the bottlenecks that we found out, and we need to encourage the automation improvement across the teams. So, what is the conclusion now? The conclusion is Jenkins and CI/CD is no more only relevant to DevOps. It is also very important for a Scrum Master to understand this. It's very crucial part of modern Agile delivery. It provides transparency, quality checks, and predictable delivery flow. Your next step as a Scrum Master should always be, you be the observant on the team's Jenkins pipeline. Learn build patterns and use these insights during the ceremonies. So in the next video, we will discuss more about the other tools, GitHub Actions, which is a modern cloud native for CI/CD tool that may in turn help you adapting and accessing them in your projects. Thank you for watching. Let's continue to learn and growing together. Thank you.